Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked. And Brad and I are continuing our top 100 games of all time. We are in the next segment, which is, what was it, 60,
We're
60 through
in.
51? The
We are in.
last,
Yep.
the last video in the top 50 or bottom 50.
Yep.
It still never made sense, but here we are. This segment is pretty clean actually. I only have one new one that stayed the same, and then four new, four rose and four fell.
I had four that rose, five that fell, and one new one.
One new one. Nice.
Yep.
Well, kick us off, brother.
All right. So my number 16. Sorry, I have a cold, so if I make noises, just deal with it. All right. So my number 60 was a game that was 24 last year, and
Damn.
it's been as high as 8 over the last 4 or 5 years. And the only reason it's fallen is because two reasons. Because I haven't played it in an awful long time. That's the main reason. And then another one is you kind of have to relearn the game. Like if you've stepped away from it a while. So it's been one of those things I just haven't gotten to the table much.
Yeah, it's like you
Um,
look at it and you're like, I remember this being really good. Ugh, but man, do I not want to relearn
right,
it.
right. And it's not that this game is, I mean, it's a crunchy game for a card game. And that's any of the games in the Imperium, Imperium
Ah,
Horizons, Imperium Legends, Imperium Classics, any of those. I put Horizons on my list just because it was the bigger box,
it is a
um,
bigger box, yeah.
this is one of the most crunchy deck building games, like as far as um all the moving parts and there's so many different uh not tribes, but so many different factions now. If you have everything, I don't even know what the count is because I think Horizons came with like 18, I think, and then or 16 or 18, and the other ones came with like 8 each, I think. Um,
Yeah, it was because I think it was a round number or a whole number once it was all done. Um, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14.
okay, and then there's 16 and the other ones, so there's 30. Okay, so
Yep.
30, there's 30 total factions. Um, and this was one of those ones because we kind of played it a long time ago. I kind of taught it to you, but it was kind of like we were both pretty early into it. Um, and we both played similar factions because we played Greece and Rome. Um,
Right.
so we weren't very, outside the box.
Yeah.
But every most of them play radically different because we played another one in this box where I was the Martians and you were the cultists, and they all played differently.
Yeah.
But it's just there's like I said, it's a heavier style game. Um, it's it gets what is the weight? So it's almost a 4 for a deck building game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty stout. Um, and there's a lot of icons, a lot of different stuff to deal with. Um, you also they've messed around because you're trying to go through your deck and stuff, and that pulls cards out from under your like leader card or your
Hmm.
and stuff. And then once you eventually do that, then you start, you have to go to civilized. I believe you go from barbarian to civilized at that point, and there's a lot to keep track of. They've re-implemented this with a version I will never touch because I hate Star Trek, but Star Trek Captain's Chair is the new, like the newer version of this game. Um, and it's super
Now,
crunchy
if it
too,
was
but
Star Wars,
then I would. Yes,
yeah.
I hate everything Star Trek. And let the comments flow, but but yeah, so and like I said, this one fell mainly because I mean it's probably been the last time I played this was when we played Martians and Cultists. Like
Oh,
it's been
wow.
it's been a while. So um I recognize how great the game is. I just couldn't justify it still being up there with not having played it, much. I haven't played all the factions on Horizons yet anyway. Um so uh so yeah, I mean if you're looking for a really crunchy deck builder that uh This one's also, then that the other thing I do like about this one is so many deck builders are like, you run 1v1 or multiplayer. This
Yeah.
one, don't play more than two ever.
I have played more than two. Well, no, I actually, correction. I taught a four-player game,
Yeah,
because people wanted to check it out, and I was at a game day. It surprisingly went over well, but I was not the one playing it, so I was engaged the entire time because I was
right.
mediating for different people. It was actually kind of fun, but if I was playing, I would probably be checking the clock
Yeah.
because, like, yeah, you just there's not enough interaction to justify having that many people.
Well, and it's not a visually stunning game either, so it's like,
Yes, you're right. It's not. It's the worst artist in the
well, no,
industry.
I'm not meaning that. I'm just meaning like the
No,
backs of the cards are
no,
boring.
Brad, you finally came
No, I
to
like
the
Nico
to the
art.
light.
But like the backs of the cards are boring. The tokens are kind of weird. Like the way
Yeah,
they're, stuff. It's just like it's kind of an odd game overall. Like they're everything, but
yeah.
yeah, the
Go off of
solo
this.
is excellent. Um,
Yeah.
with this game because they have all these separate cards. I think one of the pictures you had like showed the Automa um pile of all the factions, and it was like, yeah, all those to the right. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's like all the this I guess there's the Automa. I
Yeah.
think the backside, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like
Yeah.
there's just a huge stack of 30 cards, so you can play. This has so much replayability to it that if you're a solo player, which is my preferred way to play this game, um,
It
there
it is
definitely
a
has that.
really, really good solo mode. And yeah, I mean, this is 151. It did fall out of my top 100 just for the exact same reason. I look at it and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to I don't want to teach that.
Yeah, it's a bear
Like,
to teach for sure.
and since I don't really play solo, like, unless it's for a video for the channel, it's like, while it is a really good solo mode, I mean, at some point I do want to like cover all the factions and their solo mode on the channel. I just haven't put in the effort to try and do that.
That'd be a chore. You'd be so tired
It
of that game by the time you were done with
that would probably be like,
it.
and 30th video done, throwing this game away.
Yeah. So
Like, it would be much.
so anyway, so yeah, that was a change of 36 from
Nice.
from last year. So actually, yeah. Yeah, 36. Yep. So anyway, that's my number 60.
Cool. My number 60 is a game that you have not played. It did rise. It was 68 last year and 54 the year before, so it rose 8 spots. Um and not that I played it last year, but I played it relatively recently. And relatively in the board game world is within the past 5 years.
Hmm.
Um so this is a game that I think you would very much like, and that is Darwin's Journey.
Yeah, I want to buy it, but like all I can find is like the retail versions, and I know that there's the Kickstarter version out there, and I want to get
Yeah.
that instead. So I'm kind of
Yeah.
waiting to find it.
I th well, they went on Kickstarter for another expansion
Mm.
last year, I think, that I did grab, but this one is absolutely phenomenal. I'm hot and cold on Thundergriff as a company. Like, there's games that like I think are okay, and then like this one came out and I'm like, it's really, really good. Um but essentially you are uh going along the path of Darwin, and and his sin, trying to talk about evolution, not creationism. So I don't know. What can you do? What can you do about that? But essentially, I mean, there's tons of different areas that you're going to be uh, triggering various actions, um, gathering different types of species to put out in the museum area, um, gathering different types of these, oh, what do they call them? Seals that go onto your player board to level up your different types of actions, because you need those icons to to go to higher level actions, which is a really cool thing that is unique from what I've seen of other like where your meeples, essentially your workers, get stronger. Like the more knowledge that they gain in the different types of seals, it's just like eventually, like for example, these are your cards, and this is supposed to represent each of the different meeples, and this is what they want. So it's like if you can get four blue seals and a yellow onto one meeple, then you can play this card and get this one-time effect. But now you have a worker that is really good at going to the blue seal locations. Um, which is just really neat. And, like I think whenever we did our top worker placement, I chose this was if it wasn't on the list, it definitely should have been for the fact that your workers actually level up, so to speak. Uh, but and this game does a really cool job of having like with the Kickstarter version anyway, I don't know if you can get these retail, but they have a bunch of little mini expansions, which I feel like isn't really done a whole lot. And I like mini expansions because it's just like, oh, hey, here's a 10 card deck or something that you just throw in to slightly change up the game if you've played it enough, instead of having to turn around and be like, okay, now let's learn this whole new expansion that might make the game worse because it's now convoluted. Uh, there's a ton of mini expansions with this one, and a few bigger ones. But yeah, you're sailing, or Darwin is on the Beagle. I'm
Yes,
like, what?
yes.
On the Beagle, so he's naturally just going along this path. But you can also go down and move your own ship to get access to different islands. So you have different explorers you can drop down to explore islands. Um, It's a pretty tight game with money because depending on number of players, these are the action spots, but it becomes very like they're on the same book. Like this is one book. So in I think it's 3 or 4 player game, this is like I said, this is one book. So the more workers that are already there on the book, the more expensive it is to actually
Gotcha.
go and do any of those actions. But um so it could be very tight. It's a unique one. I really like it. Like it's been on the this came out in 2023. Okay, so it's only 2 years old, which is interesting. I feel like this is actually the one rare instance where I feel like it came out longer.
Well,
It came out a while ago.
I guess it is 3 years now, I guess, depending since it's
True.
some
True. It definitely didn't come out in January of 2023,
right.
but yeah, it will be 3 years old. Uh So yeah, I mean, if you're looking for, I really like this theme. I think that, at 3.9 seems high to me. Maybe I'm just really smart. I'm gonna go with that. It's if you care about the weight on BGG at all, I don't think this is actually that bad. Like, I don't think it's 3.9. I'd probably say early threes, but. But I mean, your experience might be different. But yeah, this one is very clean, very unique. Really like it. Darwin's Journey.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah, here are all the yeah. Oh, Oceania. Oh man, I guess people don't. Well, that's not even out yet, so
Yeah,
who
so it's
fucking
just
knows? Yeah, a lot of little mini expansions. Fireland is the big one, um, for it. So I
all
think I
right.
have it all. Anyway,
Good choice. All right. My number 59 is a game. This is the first time it has jumped into my top 100 ever. Um, it was 112 last year, so it jumped 53 spots. Um, Mainly because over the last couple of years, I've made that turn to be liking Euro games a lot. So this one, I got back to the table, really enjoy it. It's a 2008 game, and it is Le Havre. Um, this one,
it's Ellie, isn't it?
Ellie, yeah. So this one is another one of those Uwe Rosenberg games that You had Agricola and all that. This came out, um, I think this was the next one after the Agricola stuff, and then it was like Caverna and everything. But this game is mainly like it's a shipping game, like goods and stuff like that. So, I what I really need to get for this game is the board game geek bits. For this are awesome because all those little stacks of squared tiles that are all over the board, they have
Might as
nice
well
nice acrylic ones.
save the money because Awakened Realms will probably reprint
Maybe,
this one.
maybe it's a chance.
I'd actually be surprised if they didn't on their Puerto Rico and Agricola trajectory Castles of Burgundy as well. This one
Yeah,
probably will also get a remake.
yeah, it quite possibly could. But anyway, this one is it's not super complex. I mean, the one annoying mechanic in this game is the same mechanic I hate in Agricola, but it's not as dire in this game to me, and that's the feed your workers. So this has that mechanic in it. I hate it in Agricola. This one doesn't seem as punishing. So, um, but when it's your turn, all you do is it's like a two-part turn. Any goods that you got throughout that time, you distribute them. Um, into certain spaces, and then you'll take an action. So as far as an action goes, you can either take all goods of one type from a certain offer space, um, or you can use a building. So with the buildings are an important thing because they all the buildings have actions, and as you get these buildings, if you decide to own these buildings, like if you can get buildings that you own, then you have to pay to use it. Like if you wanted to use a building I owned, you'd pay me money to do that action.
Sexual
And
favors, got
right,
it.
right.
Got
So,
it.
so, so it's kind of like you're investing in long play when you buy it because you get money throughout the deal, especially if it's a really cool ability. And this also gets you money throughout the game you can use. Um, and then ships are another important part. They're used to bring the food to your people, to feed your workers. That's the main purpose of the ships. So, this game it's kind of a weird one to because most games, you say this game plays in like 4 rounds, or whatever.
hmm
This one, everybody does 7 turns and then the round ends.
Oh
So it's like,
God.
so it's set, but the turns are really fast. So it's like,
Okay.
because this game only, I mean, if you play this with two people that really know what they're doing, you could get a game of this done in probably 40, 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But
Gotcha.
then you can play, so after every 7 turns, a round ends, and then you have to, like your cows and your grain and stuff, multiply with a harvest. So either your cows, multiply grain, you get harvest to get stuff. Then you feed your workers, and then whatever the amount of rounds is, depending on what you want to play. Then everybody takes one final action, and then that kind of so how you do this, how you end up winning the game is you add up the value of your buildings and your ships. You put those to your cash reserves that you have, and then the one that has the most wins.
Got it.
Um, so this one I liked because, so many of the other games were like the polyomino stuff.
hmm
And this one kind of was like an in between. Like it didn't use that, but it still used a little bit of like the feeder people and your multiplying of your goods and crap like that. Um, like your spawning of new cows and stuff. But but it's a neat little deal. I mean, you drop off goods, put them in, you pick up all of one. It could be one of your actions, if you're trying to build towards something, because there's all those cards that have objectives and stuff. So, but yeah, this one actually is a pretty cool one. Um, the the solo variant for it is solid. I mean, it's not the best one in the world, but
hmm
it's if you like the solo modes for Uwe Rosenberg games, it's just another one of those. Like, it's not any worse or better than any of the other games that run solo.
Got it.
Um, but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's a nice solid. If you're a Euro lover, this is a classic. It's
Tom
push,
Vassel's number
you
one.
know. Yeah, I know he loves this game. So,
It's
but
but man, we have come a long way in graphic design
mhm.
since 2008.
Yeah, well, that's why. Yeah, and then like those the tokens, like the resources, look so much better when you have them on colored acrylic.
Yeah.
Like I've seen people with the those geek bits and stuff, and it just looks so much cooler.
I
I
wonder
haven't looked.
what how Awaken Realms decides like what games to remake.
I don't know
Because
because Agricola was a classic, Castle Burgundy was a classic, Puerto
yeah,
Rico was a classic. This one's been
this
high.
feels like it's just the next logical step
I
of
could
a.
see. Yeah, I was trying to think because is there
I
other
mean,
ones?
Uwe Rosenberg, Stefan Feld, those are prolific designers that these games could use with a
Yeah,
overhaul. And this almost feels like a layup for them
yeah.
to
I
do.
mean
This one, Feast for Odin would be cool.
mhm.
Um, I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never played this, so I've played like three Uwe Rosenberg games and one, well, two Stefan Feld games.
yeah,
I don't think I've played a single Reiner Knizia game, but that dude pops out of the game every 5 minutes. So
yeah. He has a bunch under him, but yeah. So anyway, that's my number. What was it? 59.
59.
It's a solid one if you want a good solid Euro.
Nice. Going in a completely different direction. This is my new one of this segment. It's actually a game that we first played together. That I was kind of skeptical on. I skipped out on the Kickstarter because I was like, I don't really know. This doesn't really look like it'd be all that fun. Kept hearing that it was a lot of fun, and I'm like, all right, I'll finally grab a copy, and I have loved it since. And it's kind of been my go-to game if I have a group of four, and that is Spooktacular.
That was a solid one. I didn't really know what to expect when we played that. And
Right?
it ended up
Because
being pretty solid. I mean, I didn't mind it.
it, yeah, no, it's a very interesting theme overall, but this board, man, it like level 99 needs to hire. Like we're just talking about graphic design from 2008. This looks like it came out in 1992 or something. It looks ancient, which I guess kind of I guess makes sense considering the fact that it's based off of really old B movies, which aren't really made nowadays. I mean, I guess they are because you have like
They just go
Sharknado,
straight to
but like
stream. They just go straight to streaming now instead of going to
that's
theaters and
true.
stuff.
Yeah. Uh, but this one is just an absolute blast, like a very solid spooky season game to get. But I see it sitting around this area just because it doesn't require four, but you want probably four. I would
Hmm.
imagine BGG has it at best at four. Yeah, 4 to 5. The more players you have, the better because it's just more chaos, more board manipulation. But what it is you have these different uh I was gonna say factions, but these different like B movie titles that you're gonna play. And there's 20 in the box, and all of them play radically different from one another while keeping it very streamlined and very clean. Because everything that you do is on your oh, perfect, is on your card. So it tells you right here on like the
Yes.
maturity rating, uh, their difficulty, but then it tells you your setup and what you do as your turn, and anything that is unique to your character, like pick up a passenger, it tells you what that is and then how you play different from everyone else. But the overall goal is to gather different colored meeples and eat them because all the movies are coming to life and killing the people in the movie theater. And once you get one of each different type, then you get a ticket. Those tickets are worth a bunch of points, but you also have different ways for you to get points as your character. And really, it's the first one to 50, or like at least that triggers the end game, and then you calculate points. So you might still lose if you pass 50, but that's what triggers it. And there's a couple things of why I like this one so much. One, I love the theme. Two, I love unique factions. Asymmetric player powers. This one has 20 of them in a retail game. Uh, and it's quick. Like it feels like once it's done, you're like, man, I feel like that was a fulfilled, fun game. Didn't feel like it went too long. Didn't feel like it went too short. Just right. Uh, and just the different types of combinations you're going to get from all the different uh player powers really gives this game tons of variety. So I think the most common complaint is,
It's probably
go
gonna be
ahead,
what I'm getting ready. It's probably gonna be what I'm getting ready to say. So you can go ahead and say it
is the board.
about the
Um,
only having one board.
yeah, there's only one board.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's this one. Um, so I
I
don't
can
know.
see why they did it that way though, because I mean that the board is so specific to certain creatures. Like like it would be to almost make some of them overpowered if they didn't have a static board too. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
kind of
Like
yeah,
your creature you controlled that game that we played. You know, like you aren't going to want to have all these exits and all these different stuff that could be possibly way overpowering for your guy because you dealt with
right.
exits, you know. So it's like it would be a big bear to make another board, even though I would like one.
Yeah, it would
You
have
know,
been at least nice to have double-sided, at least two
yeah,
maps.
yeah,
But yeah, that's my thinking as well, is you they designed this board with a balance in mind of 20 factions. So who knows? I don't know how well this game did in terms of level 99 deciding to support it. They typically do with like all their games is some type of expansion. So maybe in the future there's going to be another set of movies and another map. But honestly, like the gameplay isn't the board. It's the different characters. So
right,
it really, because I've played this since we had first played it, and you don't really recognize the the map in any way. It actually kind of becomes one of those games that you appreciate the map being the layout it is like because I said, the gameplay is the factions.
right.
Um, and how you can try and screw over the other players, put yourself in a better position to kill more people. Um, it's a really unique one. It's not a looker. The art on the movie posters is cool, but in
Yeah, the
terms of
cards, the
if you were to
cards
walk
for the
by this
heroes
movie,
too. Yeah,
yeah,
yep,
if it walked by this movie, if you were to walk by this game, you'd probably not really give it a second glance. But I really like it. So that's
yeah,
my 59.
yep. I agree with you there. It was not on my list because I'd only played it, you know, like once. So,
Yeah.
all right, my number 58 fell. It was 37 last year. I think it only fell not because I dislike it anymore. It's just it hasn't gotten played. It's a smaller box game that I've played a ton over the last couple of years, and there's been other games that I've been newer games I've been trying to get to the table more often now, even though I still love this. There's an expansion that should be coming out at any time now for this game that'll bring it back to the table and it'll probably make it bounce right back up. And that's the Veil of Eternity. um, so the expansion being the Curse expansion,
Hmm.
I think it came out at Essen, but it's still making its way this way. So, but this was one of those games I'd seen for sale for a long time, you know, before I bought it. I didn't really, I just heard a lot of people talking about it, and then I nabbed it one day, and it actually ended up being a hell of a game. Because
Mm.
you own this one too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't
Um,
played it in I own the expansion, haven't tried it yet. I need to
yeah,
because it is a good one.
yeah. I played the Artifacts expansion. I just haven't. Obviously, I'll when the
Was
Curse
it
one
is it
comes
one of
out, we'll
those
see.
expansions that's like a must-have, like you'll never play without it, or was it kind of like, ah, all right.
It adds an extra little decision layer. So I mean, it
Okay.
just depends on if that's cool with you, because it adds
Gotcha.
the artifacts, and that's a whole nother little decision that you have to choose between. So I mean, I wouldn't say it was a must-have, but it just
Okay,
adds more, and plus it added more cards, so which is
gotcha.
always good. Um, but anyway, this was one of those games, there's going to be a weird thing out in the middle of the table, a weird shaped, like, I don't know, what do you want to call it? A pinwheel or something like that. Um, and you're going to draw X number of cards depending on players. They're going to go out on the board, and then each person has two of those little discs, and you are going to, place them on the cards that you want. And once everybody's placed them out, then you have an action phase. So you can uh you can tame the card, you can sell it, you can summon a card from your hand, you can do all this different stuff. All the while, and there's tons of different abilities. I always go back to that one deal because you have to pay attention to what your other people have, because you and I were playing a game, a year or so ago, and I played one stupid card, and if that put me in the lead, then it let you jump up a couple. It was like the Goblin or something.
Yeah.
And I played it, and then it'd be me taking the lead, let you jump up like two, and then you end up winning. That's how you won, was that one
Yeah.
stupid card. But you're trying to make a tableau of, I want to say, 10 cards, 8 or 10 cards, is because every turn you can only have a certain number of cards out in your tableau as the game goes. And the player board says how many. But but you're going through and doing that. You're trying to make these combo chains of different stuff. The other unique part of this game is the money, as you can see there. You're only allowed to have, I think, 6 coins at a time, and that does not mean, I mean, it's that denomination. Like you can have six. I think it's six. It's either 5 or 6 coins you can have, but whatever. You can they can all be sixes. They can all be threes. They can all be ones. You don't make change. So whenever you're buying stuff, I mean, that's it,
Hmm.
So, like what you have coin wise is what you have, and then the monetary value is what it is, and you're going through and you play X number of rounds, and then whoever has the most points wins. It's got the most meaningless little standee that stands in the middle of that board that means nothing, but
Yeah.
but it's not as bad as the stupid miniatures and Onward. But
Yeah, if this had a mini, this would have been like a $80 game.
yeah, probably. So, but anyway, that's it. Like I said, it fell mainly because I've just been playing other small box games, but once that expansion comes out, this will probably bounce right back up because it'll get it to the table again and stuff.
Yeah.
And it plays really well at all. I mean, like it plays great at 2. Uh, it says best at 3 on here, but I mean, I've played it at all the player counts, and it plays great at all of them, I think. Um, and stuff. So yeah, that's
Good deal.
that's where I'm at, number
I
58.
can't find where this is at on my list. So either I could have sworn I saw it, but yeah, unless it's very high up, which I doubt.
It's your number 3. It's your
Oh my
third
God,
favorite
it
game.
is. No, holy shit. That would be stupid. But yeah, no, I do really like this one. So I agree.
Okay.
All right. What are we on, 58?
Yes.
My number 58 is, I think, a game that you finally picked up again after searching for a copy for a very long time. This one rose. It was 73 last year and 95 the year before. So it rose 15 spots. I'm not entirely sure why. I actually did play this around the same time I played Darwin's Journey and Gugong, which I talked about Gugong, you know, it was number 63. So funny enough, the games I played in the same time span all rose. And this one is Yedo,
Yep. I haven't played my version of this yet, but I'm ready to.
the deluxe master set. Which is just that's not what the game that's not what the board looks like. I don't
As I said,
think.
that's like I mean, I'm not, I might be wrong, but that looks like the old board.
This is what mine looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
I think that other one was
Um,
the old board of the original.
Yeah, but Yito is well, the Deluxe Master Set, like obviously as the name implies, came out, you know, re-implemented the original Yito that came out in 2012, and this one came out in 2020. So, but what's really, really cool about this game is the entire goal is you have these mission cards that kind of somewhat tell a story. Not even really a story, just kind of what the mission is about. And the mission cards have a bunch of requirements that you'll need. Either it's certain types of weapons, certain workers in one of these different region areas, um, having a certain number of buildings, whatever it might be. You're just going to need them, and then you're completing those missions uh, to gather victory points. The reason why this game works so well is because are a ton of different ways to play the game in the sense of what these missions give you, depending on, like I said, the type of game you're wanting. And that's going to determine what event cards are shuffled together in this deck, um, what action cards are going to be in these decks, and what mission cards. Um, like, let's see, I thought I saw a picture of the um of like the inside. Yeah, here we go. This really doesn't do much, but essentially there's these are all sectioned off into different types of cards that you will just shuffle together. I've always enjoyed that. I've always liked games where it's like, hey, here, what kind of game do you want? Do you want a highly aggressive game? Use these cards. Do you want
Right.
a game about, I mean, deck builders mainly do it that way, but Yito twisted it in such a way that it affects kind of a worker placement game. But over the course of the game, there is this Shogun that's going around that will block off an area or arrest your workers if they're in that area. And he's relatively predictable, but there are ways to manipulate him. So that could be really cool. It's, I mean, uh, on its surface, it is actually just a very straightforward game, but there's so many different combos and ways to play that it just, I mean, as you can see, it just, it's been a 10 out of 10 game for me since
Hmm.
I originally played it. Um, you can play, I think, in a way where the there's the different houses or the different houses for lack of a better term. I think they have individual player powers. That's one of the modules. It's a very modular game. Is the best way that I could describe it. So, yeah, I mean, there's not really like a whole lot more to go into and talking about it, but I love the theme and I just love the modularity of this game. Like the hand of action cards you can have. Oh, hey, here we go. Here's a good picture. Uh, yeah, like Cruel Fate events, resource events, closed location events. Like these are all different types of events that you can shuffle together, different types of action cards you shuffle together. Oh yeah, there's the clan powers. This game also has a module where you can play solo or co-op. One of the cool modules is yeah, kill the Shogun missions where that's a way for you to auto win the game. Um, which could be really neat. So it's a very sexy deluxe version that makes the game like really, really pretty to play. And yeah, like the gameplay of this one is just so clean that I've loved it ever since I played it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is my 58.
Yeah, I'm ready to get this one played. I had the old original version that came out in like I want to say maybe 2010, 2011, something like that.
2012.
2012, okay.
Yeah.
And I liked it, but it wasn't like I never got it played, so I got rid of it.
Yeah.
Um
And they also do a really cool job with the bidding,
mhm.
like in terms of, you can bid to go first, and that opens up like where you can place your like where you're gonna grab first, whether you want first dibs on missions, whether you want first dibs on cards or whatever. They just have a lot of really neat things that gets put into this game for what is essentially a bunch of resource collection to complete missions. But it feels good every time you do complete the mission because you're like, oh, I finally got everything in place to do this really difficult black card mission because they scale in difficulty, going from green being the easiest and black to being the hardest. Well, I guess red and black are kind of the same. Red's the hardest, and then black is like very specific. One of the cards in the black mission is actually, if you're playing with that variant of Kill the Shogun, um, you have to have virtually everything go right for you to get
Right.
that mission card. So,
Yeah.
very very sexy game right there.
Cool. All right. My number 57 fell 13 spots, so it was 44 last year. And it's only because I haven't played it. And I
Do you
honestly,
play your games?
well, I have so many that I get locked onto some and I play them a ton, and then it's like, I need to get some sort of like a rotation or something going
Yeah, but then
because
whenever you're on a rotation, like that's why I try the top like 10 by 10
hmm
thing. And but then I was like, well, I don't want to play any of these games 10 times. And now it's like, all right, let's roll to see which one we're doing. And then you roll and you're like, I don't want to play that.
yeah.
You
There
know?
needs to be there
So
needs to be like a 30 by 2. That way you can play it two times and you're
I mean, yeah, that's true. Like I guess you could implement something where because I don't know how many games you're sitting on now.
a lot.
Um, yeah, you have a bunch of really like small shitty games though.
Oh, come
Like
on. You and me own a
my
lot of the same
collections.
games.
Do we? Not really.
We have a pretty decent chunk of crossover, maybe a third of our collection, maybe.
Um, yeah, I'd probably agree with you there. But like essentially you could do is just put them all every game you have in a randomizer online, just click it and be like, that's what we're playing. And you don't have to I mean, yeah, you could play it twice, but I mean
Yeah.
then just but play them once. Like every time you're sitting down for a game day, just what are we playing? Spin the wheel, and it's like that's it. And then you just or because the way you could do it if you're trying to not have a million games for no reason is
No reason.
if you if you spin it and
Yeah,
then you look at it and you're like, I really don't want to play that, then do you really need to own it?
that is true. Yeah, well, and another thing is I need to quit buying new games because if you make a list like that and then you just keep adding more games and especially with doing these our end of the year lists and stuff, I try to play as many new things as possible. So,
Yeah,
you
like
know.
that's it. Well, the other thing is like when we're doing the top 100 is there are games that have like a perfect example is this one. And then we held hands.
Uh-huh.
It's a two-player abstract game. It will never in a million years. It's not even considered. Like and I'm looking at it and I'm like, why the fuck do I still have this game? I'd never play it. I never want to play it. But because it's like a 5 cent game, it's not even worth selling.
I know. Yeah.
So I'm like, I guess I'll just keep it. So the top 100 is usually a great kind of like cleanser
Yeah.
of games, it feels like. But anyway,
All
that
right.
was just side tangent.
So this game, you actually own this one as well. And that is the Castles of Burgundy Special Edition. Um, so this one, like I said, I think I played it last year when I first got it, and then I haven't played it since. It's kind of it's not a bear to get set up, but it's a bit of a thing. It takes a little bit to get set, especially with all the acrylic tiles. If you have all that crap, you have all
There's
the stuff.
finally a 3D insert
Yeah, I
that
know. I
holds
I
all
need
of
I
that.
need to get that printed because it's kind of a bear right now. I look at it and I'm like, I don't want to really set this up right now. But anyway,
Yeah.
so you might help me with the gameplay of this because it's been a while. But
Okay.
anyway, pretty much what you're doing is um you're trying to get tiles, you're trying to place them in your whatever they call that, fiefdom or whatever, the princedom.
Theme
Yeah.
has never once ever crossed my mind
I know. Yeah.
with this
Yeah.
game.
So pretty much during your turn, gonna take a settlement tile and place it in your staging area. Um, on your player board, you can take a settlement tile from your staging area and place it in your zone. You know, you're gonna deliver goods, uh, depending on your matching dice numbers, and then you're going to take workers. What do the workers do? Oh, adjust the
The
roll of your
workers
dice.
modify your die
Yeah, yeah,
value
yeah,
because it's not dice worker placement, but your dice determine
yeah.
where you can go in whatever this market board, whatever it's
Right.
called.
Yeah.
Um,
So this is a sexy version of this game. I mean, because I
yeah.
I I had the old original version of this back when it first released, which the old original one was 2011. So I guess it's not as long as I thought. I was thinking it
Was
was.
this the first one that Awakened Realms remade? I think so.
Yes, it was.
Um,
Yep,
yeah, and they completely killed it. It's overhauled, looks great. I think the Vineyard expansion, which I've not played, I think that's new.
it is.
I
It's
th
brand
I think
new.
that was new to this version.
Yep.
But yeah, what's really cool is like the player boards, there are like 20 of them, and
Hmm.
that's going to determine the layout because yeah, each of the different colored uh tiles all give you something. Like the castle lets you take an extra action. The yellows are like a unique ability. The ships I think they let you collect these different crates,
Hmm.
if I remember right.
I think so. I think so. That sounds right.
And then green is like a set collection of various animals that you're getting. But you also get rewarded for filling out a full colored section on
Right.
your board when you do that. So I mean,
Yeah.
I would imagine this is Stefan Feld's best or most acclaimed game.
Yeah, it was one of his earliest. I mean, like, so like, but okay, here's the one nitpick about this game, this version of this game is what I loved about the tiles was that the back of every tile of the punch board said what the tile did. It had the action written on the back,
For the
right?
yellow ones, yeah.
Right, right. So when you get the acrylic ones, it doesn't have that. So it's like
Yeah,
that was kind of a
it's
misstep a bit. I mean, unless you really play the game a lot and know the stuff.
yeah, the
But
game is not so icon heavy that you're like lost and living on a iconography sheet. But for your first couple games, you are like every time a yellow comes out, you have to look at it. Now, if I remember right, I think there's enough icon sheets. I mean, I could easily go look.
I think
I
it
don't know. I
does.
can't remember if it came with just one or if it actually came with one per player, but you could quickly look and see what it does, and they're not so complex. I mean, like a
Yeah.
good example is this one right here. Um, I don't know why sometimes they zoom in. Like this one's 4 points per,
Right.
of these, but like that's just obvious on what that one does. But yeah, I completely agree.
I just wish they would have put
They
the print on the back. It's
I
like
don't see
why
why it's like, well, I know printing the tiles costs more whenever you have to do
that's
double-sided
true, I guess.
stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, cost saving feature, but
Hmm.
in terms of an upgraded version, I've seen worse, deluxe versions where it's like,
Hmm.
this is actually a hindrance
Yeah.
to play the deluxe version. Um, and God, I feel like I played a game recently where the deluxe version was actually a pain. And I was
I
like,
mean,
I don't really want this, but I can't think
well,
of it right now.
and I'll tell you, they did even a cooler job of component upgrades with Puerto Rico. I like the Puerto
Yeah, based
Rico
off the
stuff.
pictures, it
Yeah,
looks
I
really
I
cool.
I didn't do the all in for that. I did like the next step below it because I didn't need like all the weird extra crap. I
Yeah,
got a playmat and I got most of the stuff. I didn't get like the 3D animals and all that bullshit. I got still the boats and everything, but
gotcha.
it looks really cool and it's a neat version. So
Yeah,
I'm
you just gotta wait 2 years before someone makes a 3D insert.
well, and yeah, and then I didn't do the Agricola one, and then but I am going to do the Dead Harvest when it comes
Oh,
out
you
this year.
are.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, it's got zombies in it, and it make me that if there's one thing that can fix Agricola, it'd make me like Agricola. Throw some fucking zombies in it
It's
and see what
with
happens.
zombies in it. But yeah, like Castles of Burgundy, as you can see, funny enough, it, I mean, I know this is your pick, but it's a back-to-back 10 out of 10 games for me. This one
Yeah,
is again like elegant design in terms of gameplay design as well as the deluxe version is just done so well. Also with their Sundrop minis, at least my version is Sundrop, which I will never not do Sundrop.
I don't think I did Sundrop because this was
But
before I started spending money to do Sundrop.
yeah, you're missing out.
I
It's
know.
like night and day. You see not Sundrop minis and you're like, ew. Unless
I've
they're
learned my
painted,
lesson.
but
I've learned my lesson. I'm starting to Sundrop everything I see now.
yeah. So, I mean, I completely agree. This one, this one is easily one of the best. 9.1, which is great.
hmm Yep.
Cool.
That's my 57.
Nice. Um, yeah. So my number 57 fell. This is the first one in the segment that has fallen. It was 53 last year, so it barely fell. Uh, and 74 the year before. So which is actually kind of interesting because I have not played this all that recent, but in my kind of spur of change of heart on games where it's like I just want to play fun games, this is probably the most polarizing. If some people will say this is an atrocity of gaming, others will say it's one of the most fun experiences you can have, and that is Cosmic Encounter
Haven't ever played it.
from 1977, specifically this version. No, it's the only one I've ever played. No, um, Cosmic Encounter is kind of a staple in the industry at this point. If you like these kinds of just pure chaos, beer and pretzels games, this is as chaotic of a game as you could probably have without it being dog shit like Munchkin or something.
Hmm.
Um, like so if you're not familiar, it's a negotiation game where you are given one of these alien factions, one of like with an individual player power. I think this is all the ones from the core game. There's like hold on, I do it every year, but now I have technology. And how many aliens are in Cosmic Encounter in total? Come on, AI overview. Come on. 238
That's crazy.
alien species. Um, like it's insane. And are they balanced? No, not even a little. Are they meant to be balanced? No, not even a little. But the point of this game, if you had no agency in how the game turned out, then yeah, it wouldn't be a fun game because it's like, oh, you got that broken ability. But because it's a negotiation game, you could be the one with the best alien power in the game, and no one wants to work with you. So, like, you have to come up with strategic ways to utilize your hand of cards. One of my favorite things about this game is the fact that your destiny deck determines who you're attacking, because the whole point of the game is just get 5 colonies, meaning take 5 planets from other people. There are other ways, like there are alien species that have alternate ways to win, yada yada yada. But the main way you're going to win is by taking 5 total planets from someone. Um, but there's so many different expansions that throw in different like techs or um like one cool thing about this game is what's called a flare card, which are these up here that every player's alien flare card is thrown into the big deck of cards, but then a bunch of random ones get thrown in, and these give you on top of your unique alien species power, it gives you uh a the a twist or a less powerful version of that power, or if you happen to get your own, you get a super powered version of your own ability, so it makes your ability even crazier. This is chaos in a box, and it's just so much fun. Um, like last time, I mean, it has been a minute since I played this game because you want more people, but the last time I played this game was at my bachelor party, So it was like a six-player game, and I remember I'm going to be paraphrasing for the most part, but I remember like one of my friends was going to like lose, but then another friend used his alien power to cause himself to lose, but everyone else won. And I played a card to cancel his ability because I was like, I don't want you to do that. I only want him to lose. And and then he played a card, which is actually funny enough on this called Card Zap, where he canceled my card. So he's like, "No, we're gonna have a wholesome moment where you all win and I lose." And I'm like, "Okay." So it's so much fun. But if you go into this game like trying to be highly strategic, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
So uh yeah, like absolutely love it. Um this is one of those games that goes really high or kind of in the middle, depending on how often I've played it, which is typically, but again, like I said, I haven't played it in a few years. Well, actually, that's not true. I played it. No, I played it after my bachelor party because the new expansion came out, the Cosmic Odyssey
That's right.
one, that
Yeah.
basically was like a catch-all of every other different module that they threw in. So. Yeah, like Cosmic Encounter, fantastic. The only one I didn't buy their second edition or whatever. I think it's oh God, no, fuck this. It's so bad. It's so bad. Cosmic Encounter. This is a good example of when dual games do not work. What was it called? Cosmic Encounter? I thought it was like the second edition or something, but I'm oh, 42nd anniversary edition, this one. I don't know if, because I don't have this version. I have the one that I showed earlier. I wonder if this was the same game.
Just a
Uh,
different box cover.
yeah, I don't know. Or if I need to also own this because it overhauled some aliens. I know Cosmic kind of came out with some
This is a
rebalancing of
newly discovered species joins the classic lineup of aliens. Little of
damn.
You're gonna have to
I,
buy it.
I'm about to buy this version just to have everything. Anyway, that's my number 57 Cosmic Encounter.
All right. Well, my number 56 is a game that you own but have not played it yet. It's on your shelf of unopened games over there. Um,
Nice.
but you bought it because of me talking about it every year, I think. But this was one that has been gradually gaining. So like in 2022, it was 134 just outside, and then it went to 92, then it went to 88. Now it's 56. Um, Mainly because I've got to play it a couple times this last year. And that is Space Station Phoenix.
Ah,
Um,
I bought
this
this because it was like
you bought on clearance
20
or
bucks or something. It was
yeah,
on sale.
yeah,
Or it was like 20%. I don't remember what it was. It was on sale. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
yeah. So this was one that is it's a neat little game because um it kind of turns this style of game upside down and does stuff because your whole point of this game is it's a worker placement game uh and you're trying to um build a space station. All right. So when you start this game, you start off with nine ships and you start off with a station hub. And like most of these games, like most of these style, like kind of Euro-y worker placement games, you usually start off with a small resource engine and build up as the game goes. This one, you start off the game with the best possible engine that you can have in the game. So you start the game that way, and your whole point is you're doing a bunch of actions with that and everything, and you are eventually going to start breaking apart your stuff, which is building the space station. You're breaking it apart, which makes some actions more efficient, but then it also makes it harder and more strategic to take that action. So because you're running out of spaces, you're running out of stuff like that. Um, and then you're eventually going to build your space station, obviously. So you're just tearing shit apart to eventually get to that. So there's that. So it's like this whole teeter-totter like type thing, or not a teeter-totter, but you're really good at the beginning. You have to be strategic about how you tear your stuff down so that you don't lock yourself out of good actions and stuff like that to be able to accomplish your end game goal. Um, and the replayability of this game is really good. Um, because there's tons of different starting positions and starting parts that you have. Like there's just a ton of different variations that you can start the game with. Um,
Now, is it like when you're setting up your station, is it like pre-designed or do you design it yourself?
well, the state, you mean like the thing you're tearing apart to build?
Yeah.
It's more or less it's pre-done. I mean, you're
Okay.
just going through and doing it. It's what makes this game the differences of this game when you set up and what changes the gameplay is your opening part. Like you're gonna have cards that are gonna give you uh different starting positions, different parts and different
Oh,
combinations of
okay.
both. So that's where a lot of the variation comes from. But I mean, every time I play this, it's a totally different game every time I do it. And it kind of looks odd on the table. Like you sit there and kind of look at it. It's kind
Yeah.
of a unique looking game, but I just like the deal because I like the starting the game off with where you're able to do everything you want, but you need to start breaking it down to be able to get to that end game and making those tough choices of what to break down. Um, you know, so that you can make certain things more efficient and certain things, you just have to make those decisions as you play. Um, and this one came out a few years ago. I haven't heard anything else about it since, so I think it's just it was just a one shot. It's a Rio
Yeah, just
Grande
one of
game,
those
so
games. I mean,
yeah.
Rio Grande as a company, like, oh, I guess never mind.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean
like
they've done
concussing.
stuff. It's yeah,
Yeah. Well, no, they definitely have. It was more of
yeah.
like I wasn't sure. I was like,
If
do
they
they
supported,
if they support games, but
yeah.
then I immediately saw Race for the Galaxy and Concordia. I'm like, well, never mind.
Well, in this one, I
And
don't
Power
think,
Grid.
yeah, I don't think this one got the eyeballs on it, like as much
Sure.
as some other ones. Like the only reason I knew about this game is because a podcast I was listening to talked about how awesome it was. So then I started checking it out, and that's when I went and bought it.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have done that podcast, I wouldn't have known
They
what the hell
got
this
you.
game was,
Yeah, corporate shells. They were
Yeah.
sponsored by Rio Grande, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Space Station Phoenix, it's amazing.
Well, it
You're
is
paying
good. That's
us."
why it's on my list.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
But you're
but
also
yeah.
kind of a sheep to that podcast anyway, so
Well,
you're probably like,
this wasn't that podcast. This was another one.
"Oh,
Yeah, I listened to
oh,
like
you're part of
10
two
different ones.
cults.
I listened to like 10 different ones.
You're
Um,
a secret caballer, and I don't know the other one,
Geek
the
All Stars, Secret
Geek All.
Cabal, uh, your Blue Peg, Pink Peg, Rolling Dice taking names. There's just all kinds of them. So anyway,
Charlie Kirk.
no, 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 no.
It's like you just
That
go on this
that
huge tangent. It's like,
that
the opinions of
that
of
that
of
that
Brad is
that
not.
that channel's dead. But anyway, so yeah, so Space Station Phoenix is my number 56. It jumped up. I don't know if it's going to go much higher than this, though. It's jumped up every year since it's hit in here, but this is probably going to be about where it stops, I would think. After seeing everything that's, below it and everything, it's probably going to settle around right here.
Nice. Yeah. I got it. All right. My number 60. Wow. 50. What the fuck are we on?
We're on
56?
56. Yes.
56 was 67 last year and 59 the year before, so it rose 11 spots. And that's because I have played this very recently, last year to be exact. This is a game that I imagine you'll get rid of because you never play it, and you hate deck builders now. So
I don't
it's
hate deck builders.
you do. I haven't seen a single deck builder on your list.
I just talked about one, Imperium Horizons.
No. Yeah, but come on, you haven't played it in 14 years. But this one is Lost Ruins of Arnak.
That's a good one.
Um,
I've played
this
this game. I
is
just haven't played the new expansion yet.
Twisted Paths, it's very, very good.
Yeah.
Um, like I liked both. It was so good that it bummed me out that the other expansions for it only added a specific temple track instead of a whole new board.
Yeah.
Because the new temple tracks are like integrated with unique action spots on the main board. And it's like, damn, what a missed opportunity for the other expansions. They're all still great. I want to do a ranking on the different temples, like a ranking video on the different temples, because
Yeah.
there's quite a few of them now. But Lost Ruins of Arnak, I think came out at the same time as Dune Imperium, if I remember right, and they were both highly compared to one another.
Yes.
Which
Worker
luckily
placement
that
deck builders.
comparison. Sorry, what'd you
Worker
say?
placement deck builders. That
Yeah,
was
yeah, that
what they were compared
combination,
about.
which yeah, you hadn't really seen before, but I think that comparison has pretty much died at this point because for some reason, Lost Ruins of Arnak stayed true to form because it's run by CGE, which is a superior company. But the Dune Imperium release schedule, if you listen to Dice Tower and Mike, Mike, yeah, that's his name, and his complaints about it is they did a lot of weird shit with like, here's Dune Imperium, here's an expansion, here's another expansion, here's another core game that's completely refixing the original, but it was like,
It
what?
can be combined too. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it was
because
like
I have all of it. So
it almost felt like, yeah, with Dune Imperium, they released it. People had issues with it. They didn't want to try and fix it, so they just kind of remade it. And then it got confusing because they released it pretty, quickly for one another. Anyway, all that to be said, I've always loved the Lost Ruins of Arnak over Dune Imperium. And what was awesome about this game is I was teaching it to my girlfriend because I needed to get the new expansion played. And in the middle of us playing it and me kind of teaching her how to play, it was getting very exciting because this game is so combo heavy with how liquid your turns can be, where it's like, oh, okay, if you put this temple idol here, that's going to let you do this action, which will give you the money to play this card, which means you could then send your worker over there to do this, which will then, if you spend the compasses to get this relic to do this ability, like it has that same element of kind of Everdell where because you only have two workers,
right.
you need to be very efficient with your resources. Not that you're starved for resources, but if you just place your workers willy-nilly, you're going to be done. Like, and be like, okay, I guess I'm sitting here. I didn't get to do anything because you need to place your workers in very specific spots. Uh, absolutely love the theme. Funny enough, while playing this, we were listening to the Indiana Jones soundtrack because it just fits. And I'm not an Indiana Jones like stan or anything. I have never seen any of them until we played this, and I'm like, I probably should watch watch them. And we watched the first one, Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's fine. It's fine.
That
I wouldn't.
the second
This
and third one are my favorites of
are
them. Yeah.
that seems. What was it? What are the second one? Temple of
Well,
Doom
the second one's Temple of Doom, which is widely renowned as the best of them.
is
But
the best
I
one.
like Last Crusade better. I like the
Oh,
third
okay.
one because that's Sean
Okay.
Connery and it's got a lot more humor in it and stuff.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah, the first one, I mean, it was very 80s. Ariana did not really like it, but I like 80s movies, so I was still having a relatively good time. Um, but the best part of that entire movie is whenever that dude eats that fly. Like it just goes into his mouth in the middle of his line.
yeah,
Um, but yes, a lot of people's complaints for just to be reductive is they're like, all you do is go up on the temple track. It's like, okay, so you play three-fourths of the game. Yeah, like that's a crux. That they always try and use it as like a gotcha to discredit how good the game is. But yeah, like technically this entire side is what you are using to help you go up on this track. But they stuck to it. Every single expansion for it basically gave you new temple tracks, which gave you new rules and new uniqueness of the game. Um, Love the card play. Love the fact that everything in this game is thematic. Like you start out the game with a bunch of items because you need them to help explore the island. And then as the game goes on, you get less and less items because you already have them at your disposal, and you're finding more and more relics to use
Right.
because you're thematically discovering more of the island. Love the fact that you never have a discard pile. All the cards you play go underneath at the bottom of your deck. When you get relics, you can actually use them by paying their compass cost to immediately use the ability, but then whenever it comes back around from your deck, you have to pay a tablet to use it again. Also, to thematically represent that when you pick up the relic, it's like power goes off. And it's just very minor things that didn't need to be thrown into this game that just enhance it more so than your traditional deck builders, where it's like, I'm buying this gun. Anyway, I'll use it later. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
Um, so it's fantastic. I do really like this game. So that's why it is my number 56.
All right. Good choice. We'll probably talk about that later.
I doubt
Um, we
it.
will.
You're looking to sell it.
No, I'm not. Um, so my number 55 is a game that's been on my list for a long time. It was 68 last year, jumped up because I bought a new map pack and it got me to play it some more. And that is Concordia. Um,
I was just about to start typing that.
yeah. So there's all kinds of
You're
map packs out for this. There's a couple of big box expansions. There's the deal. The game looks very dull, when you look at it on the deal, but I think that's the intent. I think it's more just like, the cover of the game is pretty dull too, but this is one of those classic Euros. Um, Matt Gertz is the designer. He's kind of known as the Rondell guy. Um, even though this one doesn't have as a super, like much of a Rondell theme, but Matt Gertz is kind of known as that kind of game guy. Anyway, um, so this is one of those deals where you're, depending on what map you choose, it's going to be different parts of that area. You're going to be settling certain places, using your ships to move around. You're going to be getting resources. The trick with this game is everybody has the same cards in their hand. At least they're action cards, and you're going to be playing these action cards down to do different things. Um, and when you play those action cards down, like it's got that. This was kind of the first one to my recollection that had that where you had to play a card to pull them all back into your hand. Um, I don't recall. I mean, it may have been done before this, but this is the first game I remember that being in. Um, and
of recalling cards to your hand.
yeah, like you have everybody has the same set of
Komet does.
cards.
Komet does that.
Right, but this was before that. That's what I'm saying. This is the first one that I think did this. Um, so
Nope. Nope.
oh, the original commit, huh?
Yeah, year before.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, well, I
I was
played
like,
Con
unless Concordia, because like I feel like Concordia, wait, so stupid. Uh, man, yeah, I feel like Concordia kind of got its love after 2013. It
okay.
feels like
Well,
definitely
I played this before I played commit, so that would probably be one reason.
didn't Mission Red Planet also do that?
I've never played that,
Oh,
so I don't know.
well,
But anyway, so it's been done a lot more recently as well now.
yeah.
But this is you also have your little player boards. You're going to be putting your resources down there. There's only a certain number of spaces you can hold. You're also going to be getting these cards that you can pick up they're different cards that are associated with different gods. Um, and then those will score differently. Uh, it's just kind of one of those games that, for one reason or another, because I stayed away from this for quite a while, just because it looked dull. The box never really tempted me, any of that stuff. But after I was taught this game a handful of years ago, it really hit well. And then
Hmm.
if you get the oh gosh, I want to say it's the Venus expansion. It adds fish as a resource. And there's tons of map packs for it now. Um, there's a Salsa's the other big box. And then but then there's tons of map packs and there's just like two maps per pack that you buy and they set up and do different all this different stuff. The other thing that's really cool with this is they came out a couple of years ago with the Solitaria expansion
Hmm.
that lets you play all the maps, any version of this game you want solo. And the AI is actually pretty good on it. So that's
Damn,
another
they did
cool.
support this. I thought this game came out like 2017 or something.
No,
Like I
no,
didn't know it
it's
was
older.
2013.
Yeah. And this is the different box cover. Like the original box cover was even worse than this. Like it was a horrible looking box cover before this
Oh
updated one.
yeah, yeah. And
Um,
yeah, this is
this
the
actually is the good
remake.
one. Yeah. But anyway, so this one, if you again, this is I've been hitting a lot of euros on this section with another
Yeah,
one to
you're
come,
boring my viewers.
with another one to come.
Here you go.
But
Here's the original.
right, right. And see, that just seems like it was so much more than 2013. That's the surprising thing. Like I would have guessed this would have been more like a 2010 game or something, but
Dude,
I don't know.
that's what whenever I look you just mentioned you're like, "Oh, this is the first game that I remember that did that pull your hand back thing." I was like, "No, because it came out 5 years ago. It's 2026. What the fuck happened?" Like
This did hit a lot of people late though, like you said,
it did. Yeah.
because
Like I'm
I
not
yeah, I played this for the first time. Um, well, it would have hit my list shortly after because I bought it after that. So I think 2021 would have been when I first started
Yeah, no, okay, because
doing it.
I was living in Independence whenever I first played this,
Yeah, because
and
you borrowed mine, didn't you? Or did you buy your own? I can't remember what you
I
did.
think I had my own. Maybe
Okay.
it would no, yeah, because I sold it and I wouldn't have sold your copy. Um, you're like, hey, now that I think about it, I'm missing my version. Um, but yeah, and I remember playing it around the time that it was all the rage. So I don't know, but I mean, 2013 apparently, unless the remake. I mean, it wasn't remade though. That's the thing. But yeah, I did not realize they had what Britannia, Germania as an expansion, then Gallia, then
Yeah, they have tons.
Corsica
Yeah.
as the
And
map,
there's
Gyptus, Creta, and then I'm probably
that's
butchering all
that's
these.
the one I just bought, the Balearica and
Balearica and
Cyprus.
Cyprus,
Yeah, that's the one I just picked up. But
um,
but it's just two
and then
maps.
Roma,
I mean,
Sicilia.
and
Wow.
it changes. I mean, the game set up not set up, but like the map changes, the routes change, it and they do a really good job with it.
Yeah. So. But at the end of the day, I still think it's a seven. It's good. It's a good game for sure. Like
Yeah.
I jump into. I'm bad at it. I'm bad at the scoring. Like I'm good at the gameplay itself, but then like the scoring, I'm like, whoops,
Yeah.
did not did not score well.
I'm not saying I'm good at the game either, but I just because I don't ever win, I don't think. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess solo. I've won solo on the
Well, that's
Solitaria,
good. That's
but
all that
the
matters.
AI is difficult though, so I've lost more than I've won.
Nice. Um, all right, good deal. My number 55 was 135 last year and 31 the year before. So it rose 80 spots. I don't even know how this game ever fell out of my top 100. So last year must have been an anomaly. Uh, like kind of blows my mind that I would have ever allowed it to fall out. So I don't know what I was on. But that's Scythe. Like, I don't know.
That was out of your list last year?
Apparently,
That's
like,
weird.
right? Like, let me double check because I have 135. Yeah.
Huh.
So I do not know. I mean, this is the year of games swinging way back in to my top 100. Because this has never wavered out of a 10. Like, Scythe was my number one for the longest time. Uh, not maybe not the longest time. I can actually tell you when it was my number one. Let's see, one, two. It was since we were doing this 2017 to 2020. It was my number one. So for
Jeez.
4 years, it it was my number one. So I don't know. I mean, it was falling mainly because I haven't been getting it to the table. But one of the game days I went to a couple years ago, we played a full player game of this because the expansion lets you play with all the factions, and I won by 1 point. So that made me feel good. But this game is just I know that at this point it's been played to death and there's like that faction combination that's illegal because it lets you basically get into like an infinite loop and you're just gonna win. But whenever your game needs to be played hundreds of thousands of times to find a a broken combination like that, then I'd say you made a pretty solid game.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I absolutely love the design of this. I love how combat is it's not like a war game. Combat is kind of something you might do a couple times uh if your faction even really wants to do that. I love the fact that your resources stay on the board and the more you pile them up, the more of a target you're going to be. I love the fact that if you do decide to fight someone and there's regular workers there, you lose popularity. It's as Euro of a war game as you can get, which based off its art and its design, it makes you think this is gonna be like a heavy war game, but it's really not. It's almost an economic resource management game. Uh, the art for this game is absolutely stunning. The fact that this game was designed around its art is telling, but its uniqueness of that player board of over the course of the game as you upgrade, you're basically making your top actions up here way more efficient and making the bottom actions cheaper. So it's a double-edged sword of being like, great, now instead of paying 1 coin to get 2 power, now I pay 1 coin to get 3 power, and I can yeah.
Bless you.
And
Hmm.
now I can build a building for, less resources or whatever it might be. It's just such a cool idea that has not really been implemented anywhere else. I'm surprised people haven't taken that idea and ran with it. All the
Yeah.
factions are unique. Uh, like they all have their strengths and their weaknesses. Love the exploration of this game where there's limited exploration, but whenever you go to certain spots on the map, you draw one of these cards and you're given some options. They're all very powerful on which ones you pick. One, you might just get a free mech or something, which is really cool. Everyone's mech powers are unique. The expansions are awesome, very modular for that, and has one of the coolest Euro campaigns um, that I've played. The Rise of Fenris is awesome. As not awesome as a three-player game, which is how I did it, but yeah, if you're looking for a really cool, like big map Euro game, like to play a campaign for, the Rise of Fenris is easily one of the best. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say because Stonemeyer actually just did a video like where they went over their entire 2026 catalog of what they're releasing this year. I thought he mentioned something about Scythe.
Really?
I think so.
They're gonna
Might be
make another
before.
Expeditions.
Oh, no, funny enough, actually, I think it is. Yeah, it's right here. Um, it is on a two-player standalone game that combines the mechanics of Scythe and Expeditions.
Mhm.
So that's what it is.
I didn't like Expeditions, and I'm not a fan of Scythe, so that's just really,
Oh yeah,
you
not
know.
for you at all. Unless you run out of toilet paper or something.
Right.
Um, yes, that's a two-player standalone game. Yeah, I did
Interesting.
not like Expeditions either because I think Stonemeyer Games needs to hire like a marketing guy or
Hmm.
something because they've botched Tapestry by calling it a civilization game and Expeditions by saying it's a sequel to Scythe.
Yeah.
And neither of those statements are true in any way.
Yeah.
Tapestry is a civilization themed game, but it doesn't play like a civilization game. And Expeditions is so far removed from Scythe, except for the world,
Yeah, the art
that
in the
it's,
world. Yeah.
yeah, it's a completely different game. But I didn't like Expeditions either. But I am very intrigued by a two-player design Scythe and Stonemaier Games. I mean, they've always been one of the best companies out there.
Yeah.
Uh, I was sad he didn't in the 2026 video he didn't mention Vantage 2.
Thank God.
Maybe that's in 2036. It takes them another 10 years to design.
Yeah, I know, no doubt.
Um, but anyway, Scythe has so many things going for it. It's an absolute masterpiece in my opinion. Uh, so yeah, back in the top 100. I don't know how it ever fell out.
All right. My 54 was 93 last year. It bounced up because I've actually played it a little bit, but it's been as high as 27 over the years. And that is era medieval age. Um,
I was like, era.
yeah. So, okay. So before I start talking about this game, I'm intrigued because if you look at the description there, the very last sentence says Era serves as the first of a new series of standalone roll and build games from Matt Leacock. I
Uh,
I don't know
yeah,
what the other ones would be because I Googled that and it brought up, Bronze Age and Iron Age, the ones that you didn't like, and I'm just like, no, this isn't the first, this was the last of those. So it's like
yeah.
I don't know what that is, but I'd be interested to see.
Considering the fact that this came out 7 years ago, yeah,
Yeah,
you would think that. I don't know how these descriptions get put into BGG.
yeah.
Um, so
So
maybe
anyway,
whoever put this in,
maybe they meant to put
like,
last instead of first. It is the last
well, this is well,
last
this
in
is
an old series of cities.
yeah, it is. I mean, technically, it is the first. It doesn't. I guess that inherently implies that there's supposed to be more, but it's not wrong.
Well, right.
It
Yeah,
is
that's
the
true.
first in a new series, but I guess
Because
the term series means there should be more.
yeah, because the predecessors to this were rolling rights. So who
Right.
knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyway, in this game, if you've played Roll Through the Ages, Bronze Age, Roll Through the Ages, Iron Age, this uses the same base system. What they've done though is they've added the toy factor and the 3D coolness factor of you're physically building buildings, and you have the spatial awareness part now that you need to put stuff.
Mm.
Uh, you need to wall it in. You need to make sure you have farms. You may get, if you roll wrong, you may get a plague or something that's going to cost you uh, stuff unless you have buildings that are next to the hospital and those are exempt. There's everybody's city is going to look completely different. Um, but I love this so much more than the roll and write versions of the others because you roll your dice, you like that top track up there, you adjust your resources with those pegs. And then depending on your what else you roll, you could do build actions, you could do, you know, whatever else, right? So, um, but you're also having to feed your people and stuff like that. What's interesting is most of the buildings that you buy, not all of them, but a lot of them that you buy, you're going to get another dice to roll of that color as well, because buildings have different abilities. Um, so you'll be going through and doing that as well. There's expansions, adds rivers and roads, which adds new buildings, and if they're next to the rivers and all this different stuff, there's roads that you have to account for. Then there's all those like micro expansion things that you could have gotten from their website, Eggerspiel website, that were like added a couple more building types of the same color as one of the other ones
Yeah.
that added
I
dice that
think
you
they're
could
hard to find
substitute.
now.
Yeah, I think they are too. But uh, but anyway, so this one just has a really cool table factor. You just because the other ones you were just crossing off boxes. Like, oh, I crossed off the eighth box of this. I built a pyramid, or
Yeah.
whatever. Like this one, like you're actually just like dropping it right in there, and
Well, the
And
other big difference with this one, because I like this one too, and I hate the other ones, is because since you have the agency on where you're building, if
mhm,
the dice screw you over on like getting a plague or something, it's only affected based off, where you play. Like if you put a bunch of like a congregation of people that are getting sick, that spreads, and you're like, damn, a fucking plague came through, I'm screwed. It's like, well, you built them that way,
right,
so it's your own fault. Versus the roll and write one where it's like, well, nothing I could literally do about any of this. I guess I'll just lose a bunch of points now.
right.
Uh, it it's a better game in every way.
It is very much so. I used to like Bronze Age quite a bit just because it was a quick, I could play it
Yeah,
solo, run through it, but I don't have any of that stuff anymore because this one's just so much cooler, you know.
yeah,
People have went through and painted their miniatures and stuff. I'm not going to go that far,
same.
but yeah, I mean it's a really cool game. The expansion just adds more. Um, there's actually one thing I've kind of been interested in maybe picking up for this game. I just haven't because there used to be a big playmat that set down that you could like organize all the pieces on, like
Oh,
the
okay,
buildings, and you'd put the card right there, and then you'd build. I had places for players to place their stuff on. So,
gotcha.
so anyway, that's pretty much it on that one. That's my 54 medieval age. It's a
Are
it's
you
a
gonna
good
get a
one.
fog machine? Play the
Well,
game?
no, no, I'm not.
Like, I don't know
Jeez.
what this is. It's so extra and it doesn't even whatever. All right, cool. Yeah, good game. Haven't played it since we last played it.
Right.
But I have all I have all the the collector sets
I'm curious
that are
how much
hard.
they go for now.
I know, like unless maybe they are available on the Eggert Spiel website. I remember a while back they were hard to get.
Because I know people are constantly searching for them.
Yeah. All right, cool, cool, cool. So my number 54, it was 54 last year, so this is the one that stayed the same. But it was 17 the year before, so I remember a couple of years ago I had played this, so that's why I went really high up. And that is a classic at this point, Blood Rage.
Yep.
11 years old.
I've got to get this to the table again, man. I
It's
love this
so
game so
good.
much, but
It's
just haven't played it.
so it's so good. Like this, I remember when the game came out. This it's very interesting. I would love for someone to do um like a socialist, not socialist, a social, experiment or social thought piece on the hype of board games because we're so flooded now with, FOMO or new games being put on crowdfunding. It just gets bigger and bigger and stuff. But I remember the hype of this game and being, maybe it's because I got into the hobby around this time, but it was palpable. Like and maybe we're just dead inside, jaded. I don't know, but man, I remember like getting this game like to the table, go into a game store and playing with people there because it was just something special that was designed.
Well, this was one of those
And
one. This one was ones that only cost like $105 to get
yeah,
everything for the damn Kickstarter. This was
oh God,
before everything got wild. Like it was
we
like
had it
100. It
all.
was like 105, $115. You got everything, and it was like, man,
Yeah,
that was expensive back then. And then it's
yeah,
like, what did we
$100,
spend? We spent $700 on Odin.
that's probably not gonna be as good of a game.
I know.
That's the thing.
It won't be most likely.
It's like, yeah, it's fucking, yeah, we had it all. We had dollar McChickens and and $100 Blood Rage.
$1.50 gas.
$1.50 gas. Oh God. Anyway, Blood
Yeah.
Rage is an area control game, a Viking area control game where you craft kind of draft cards in three different ages to um there we go, to make out your faction. Now, the uniqueness of this one, um it's an interesting kind of which side you're on. Is do you like having individual player powers off rip, or do you like kind of crafting your own over the course of the game? Um, and funny enough, two of Eric Lang games do that. Rising Sun and Blood Rage. But over the course of the game, you will be drafting cards that could be clan upgrades, that could be monster upgrades, as you're gaining rage, which determines, your actions, how much glory you get for winning battles, and how many, what was that one? Limit of, figures on the map. Yeah. But you'll be placing them in various regions. And the other cool thing about this game, which is why I like it better than like Comet, is this allows some semblance of turtling or setup versus and as the game goes on, certain regions that you know ahead of time will be destroyed due to Valhalla. And each region will have a reward whenever you battle in that area to try and get whether it's I mean it's very simple. Increases your rage if you fight in Yggdrasil, which can have any number of figures, and if you win it, then you get rage, glory, and horns. But yeah, like, and what's also cool is like if you get the Kickstarter version, which I have, you have all the miniature sculpts were different for your faction,
Hmm.
or for your clan, and your tokens also matched, for your um for your clan. So it was just a very nice touch. Yeah. Like I don't think the expansions for this game were that great actually. If there's one misstep of Blood Rage, its expansions kind of suck.
Yeah.
Not in like the extra mod, like Fenrir or Wolfman, not in those, but the
Yeah, the
Gods of
monsters are
Asgard,
good.
yeah. Uh, well, I guess the Gods of Asgard isn't great, but the Mystics of Midgard is actually good because that adds in Mystics. But yeah, it's such I remember when it was at 17 a couple of years ago, is because I had played it and I was like, fuck, this is so clean of a game. It's so good. The gameplay of the card, or not the gameplay, the card play for battling has a lot of, it's not just like the cosmic encounter flip whoever has the highest value. There's sneaky things you can do, different strategies to play in, of like the most common one that most people is like the Loki one, where it's like, oh, I actually want to die, and get a shit ton of points for my figures being released from Valhalla. Um, this was the first game I remember playing where you could draft monsters. And it's like, this is mine. For the rest of the game, this is my monster.
Yep.
That's so cool. Like, that's such a very unique thing. And yeah, it's, I mean, it's definitely a classic at this point. So I love it. But you
Yeah.
know what's funny is I don't love it enough to put in for Valhalla. Jesus Christ. So
People are
fucking
hating on that
stupid.
so bad. Yeah.
I don't know why it's not even out.
I was going to back Valhalla, but I backed the project, but not Valhalla. I backed to get all the Kickstarter exclusives and expansions and stuff for Blood Rage because I'd gotten
For
rid of my
regular Blood
Kickstarter a
Rage.
long time ago, and then I rebought the retail, so now I'm getting all the stuff back to have
Yeah.
everything back to it.
Yeah, I looked because there was a video where he talked about the differences. One, it was like in a building, like so the
It's
board, like,
it's not anymore. They got
yeah, he
changed.
changed it. Well, yeah, because I thought that was weird, but I know because in this version of Blood Rage, your map, like, oh well, I can't zoom in. I had a better picture earlier, like 5 seconds ago. Um, nope. Well, anyway, whichever picture I was looking at, it was showing. Oh, maybe this one. Yeah. So, like, you can see here, you have a leader upgrade, you have a weapons upgrade, you have monster upgrades, you have clan up. Like in this version, each you only have specific spots. Like you have one spot for a ship upgrade. You have, I think in Valhalla, unless he changed this too, it's completely blank. So you're not restricted to uh only two monster upgrades or something. So it
Right.
feels like it gives you a lot more creative freedom, but I just didn't see the point
No.
in getting Valhalla. And apparently, I don't know. Apparently, a lot of people
That's
aren't either.
just
I
dumb.
Yeah, I'm not for ranking a game if you haven't fucking played it, but like, yeah, I don't know. People are stupid. But the original Blood Rage, absolutely fantastic.
Yep, I'd agree. All right. Matter 53 is my new one. on this
Ooh.
segment. You have not played this.
Is it
Um,
the Euro game?
it's actually not. It's kind of a deck builder in a way.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It's a legacy game even. This is Regicide Legacy.
I was like,
Um,
yep, I knew exactly. I want to play this.
yeah. So I haven't played through the whole campaign yet. I think I've made it through 4 of the 12. Um, and then I have a reset box to reset it all. But
For me, right? So I can
well, I
play it.
mean, I'd like to see how it plays with two, but
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know because it's cooperative. I don't know why it says best 1 and 3. I mean, I'd say two would be fine too.
no one owns this game. Because look, it says best 3-3-4-3.
Yeah.
So apparently
Well,
it's best with every player count.
right. Well, I mean, it's cooperative, so do with what you will. I
True.
play multi-hand solo, so anyway.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so pretty much this is based on the old kind of the hit from a few years ago, Regicide, where it was just a deck of cards, and you had like the bad guys were like the kings, queens, jacks, and stuff, and but they all had abilities, and you won the game if you were able to take out all the royals and stuff. So what you pretty much would do is you'd play down a card and do damage and try to kill them, and then they would do damage back. If they did damage to you, you have to discard cards. And if you can't ever discard, or if you can't ever like discard the amount of damage, then you lose. It's a pretty difficult game. This was one that I didn't even know this was coming. Like I get it was a Kickstarter that I never saw, and then I was at a game store and I saw they had it. And I was like, oh, this looks kind of cool. The box cover was
Ooh.
kind of unique and stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna nab this. And when you get this version, it comes with like some little play mats, and your board and all that stuff. But you're playing through 12 scenarios in this campaign. The first one is kind of like a tutorial one, just kind of if you haven't played Regicide before, it kind of teaches you the ebbs and flows of Regicide. And then you really start going. And as you take out each chapter, you start upgrading your deck, and stuff as well. And yeah, I mean it's a very, very difficult game. You're still you're managing your deck and stuff because if you run out of cards again, I mean you take more damage than what you have, you die. I mean that's the gist of it. Um, but so you got to be really creative with what you do. The games don't take very long. I mean when me playing it solo, it's like 25 minutes a game, maybe 30. So if you die,
So are
this
you
one's
actually like ripping up cards and
you sticker
like
them and do different
sticker them?
stuff.
Got it.
Yeah. So the game was like $60 and that reset box was like 50. Because
Jesus
well,
Christ.
it's all the cards. You just don't have the
Yeah.
board and all that stuff again. So, um, and actually the base game may have been more than that actually, but I know that the reset was like 50 because it's a heavy box. It's just like all the cards
Yeah.
again. And, but yeah, so um, I like the upgrading so far that I've seen. Like I said, I've only played through like 4 of the deals. The art's kind of unique,
I
but
do like the art.
yeah. So you're just kind of you have to be very strategic in what you play and the damage you do and stuff like that. There's different characters that you can choose from, that have their own little decks and stuff. Um, but yeah, I mean it's an interesting one, like I'd always been interested in Regicide because they said it was a super, super solo game. Um,
Yeah.
and I had the little deck in my cart many times, just never pulled the trigger. And then I saw this Legacy one there and I was like, oh, I might as well. And it ended up being really cool. I like the play mats, and I mean it's a high quality game inside that box, um, and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean
Good deal.
if you want to give this a shot, I mean, like I think solo's fine, but I'd be interested to have a second mind, like running 2 players and having
Yeah.
2 different minds on what to do,
Well, this
would
might
be
be
interesting.
a nice palate cleanser of like a maybe a series on the channel.
Yeah, because after I get
It
done running through mine, I'll reset it,
just
and then
reset
we
it. Yeah.
can, yeah, yep.
Cool. Yeah, I'm down.
All right.
Nice. All right. My number, um, my number
You're
53. That's
yes.
funny. My number 53 rose. It was 65 last year and 38 the year before, so it rose 12 spots. And that's really funny. It's Rising Sun.
Oh gosh, yeah, I'm right back back to back.
Yeah, back to back. Um, well, it's interesting because a couple years ago, like, okay, so last year this was behind Blood Rage, and so like Blood Rage was 54, and this one was 65. But then 2023, it was still behind it. It was Blood Rage was 17, and this was 38. So I mean, now at this point, they're so interchangeable. I mean, this one just happened to edge it out by one, which is very fascinating. Uh, Another Eric Lane game. This was the sequel in his trilogy, and don't worry, Onk is not going to taint my list.
It's not the
Um,
highest. It's-
I thought about it, and then I think I came to the conclusion that if it ever touched my top 100, I'm about to blow my brains out.
or you're about to have a stroke. One of the
Yeah,
two.
yeah, I'm clearly something has gone terribly wrong for me to play Onk ever again. But I think the reason why Blood Rage had beaten Rising Sun out the past 2 years is because of its simplicity. Like it's a cleaner game for sure. Uh, that it's just like yeah, I mean really any given day, I love both of these games. This one has similar concepts. It's an area control war game. The combat is way different, where you utilize money to either follow one of these four things in war advancements of either committing seppuku, taking hostages from enemies, hiring Ronin to help power up your side strength, or paying to get a bunch of points for each figure that dies. But what's unique about this one is I don't care what the dice tower says. I think they're the only ones saying this, but they're like, it's not really a negotiation game. It 100% is, because there's a literal phase that is negotiating, because these tokens here are showing your alliance with another faction or another player. Because whenever you do an action, these are the actions that you can do, there is a primary ability and a secondary ability that only you and your partner get. So it's very crucial to ally with people and negotiate stuff. So I don't know why they say that it's not. It's always been bizarre. But what's really cool is, yeah, these different regions give you different abilities, or not abilities, rewards for winning them. But not every single spot is going to be fought over. That will change over the course of the game. But this also has the uniqueness of getting special cards that enhance your side, give you unique abilities that no one else has. Does the same exact thing with the monsters. The difference is you are not building up a clan. Your clan already has a special power. And what differentiates you besides that power is the cards that you draft and play on your side. But my favorite clan is the Turtle Clan, because they actually have they have what are these called?
Turtle power.
It's based strongholds. They have movable strongholds, and that enhance to so it's literally a turtle strategy, which I love to do in these kinds of games. It's like position myself in one spot that's going to keep benefiting me and lock it down. Uh, really love that, but it's it's so different from Blood Rage, but while also sharing some of the same DNA, and it's just so good. Like I love the feudal Japan setting, love the monster abilities, love the card abilities, love the faction powers, uh, love the fact that I mean the negotiation aspect is really really cool. It just does. I mean, like you could see Blood Rage in this one is a 10 out of 10 game for me. So, but neither of them have hit the table in the past couple of years. So it's just again one of those that during like I need to just bring to a game day and just be
Yeah.
like, this is one of the games we're playing. So Yeah. It's actually kind of crazy though at this point with the Rising Sun at a 7.8 with 23,000 ratings and Blood Rage 7.9, but significantly more ratings, but also came out earlier. But
What's
uh
Onk at? What's Onk got?
oh man, I hope it's not higher than that. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, wait, that's what the hell is that?
I don't know. I was like 2016, that's not right.
That's some
7.7.
bullshit right there. That's some bullshit.
I will say though, in the slight defense of Onk, um, because at the time everyone was like, "This is amazing." When people came to their senses, this game is better at two or four, like which, like I mean, most people because it becomes way more chess-like at two, and that I can see because Blood Rage and Rising Sun are both either unplayable or very bad at two. So there's the slight defense of the of Ankh,
I'll
but
just play chess.
I'll literally do anything else. I'll go scuba diving. That's not true. I'd rather play Ankh than get in the ocean. But we can at least confirm that it is lower than
Yes, barely.
than Blood
Good
Rage and
Lord.
Rising Sun, but not by much. They're kind of around the same. Anyway, yeah, Rising Sun, fantastic. At this point, Blood Rage and this one, they're just probably gonna swap every now and depending on how I'm
Right.
feeling at the time.
Yep.
But if it's theme based, I'll take Samurais over Vikings any
And
day.
I'll take Vikings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Who
That's a
has the
good
better
good one.
shows? Probably Samurai. Well, Viking. I know a lot of people like the show Vikings.
Oh, I love Vikings. Yeah.
I guess
It's a
there's
great
not
show.
really a solid long running samurai show. Shogun, a lot of people really like Shogun, and then
Yeah.
I'm advocating for Last Samurai Standing on Netflix. That was fucking
I need to watch that
awesome.
still.
It's so good. I like, and now I hate myself because normally I never watch shows, uh, and now I finally did, and I'm like, this is why I don't because now I really like it. Now I have to wait for
Yeah.
season two, like an idiot. I couldn't just wait for it to all to come out. But anyway, that
All
was my
right.
number whatever.
53.
Yep.
All right. My number 52 is my final Euro of this list. Um, this one was 40 last year, so it fell 12, mainly just because I didn't get it played much. But this is a re-implementation of a game that I'd wanted for a very long time, but it was out of print. Um, and there was no hope of it coming back for a long time. And then they re-implemented it in the City Collection that, Queen Games always does a City Collection Kickstarters of Steffenfeld games.
Marrakesh.
And this is Hamburg, which
Hamburg.
is the re-implementation of Bruges. Um, Bruges was a game I played Bruges for the first time because I'd wanted it for years. I went to a game day, and somebody had Bruges, so I played it there. Absolutely loved it. So then, yeah, of course, I'm not going to spend a fortune on Bruges when I could spend $100 on the deluxe version of Hamburg. Um, Even though I like the art of Bruges much better than this. This is more of a abstracty kind of art where I like the board art. Like Bruges' art is, I think, a lot better. But anyway, so of course it's Steffenfeld, so you're gonna get points everywhere. Um, but what's the cool part of this game is like there's cards and the cards are very multi-use. Most games have multi-use cards where you may be used for two, maybe three things. These cards can be used for five things.
Damn.
So there's a lot of multi-use with the cards in this one. Um, but you play 8 rounds. You are six dice are rolled at the beginning. That's those dice there in different colors. And you place those out, and then you get a threat marker um, of any die that rolls a 5 or a 6. So you'll get these threat markers. If you ever get 3 threat markers of one color, then you take a penalty, which could be a variation of different things. The black dice is a wild. And so what you're doing is that's how you start around is you roll the dice, take your threat markers. Then you're going to be paying coins equal to whatever pips of the dice um, are showing. If it's like a one or a two, you'd pay that much gold to move up on the mayor's track. And then the black die activates a clergy um, that also acts as a round counter. Um, and then he also gives you different awards for like in-game rewards for buildings you built. But so you have um, you're going to put out 5 cards. Also, one from each color of dice. So, like if you look at the very, very top left corner, there's these different decks. Each one matches the color of the dice. So you'll put 1 card of each of those out, and then the corresponding number decides, what you do with that card. Um, and then you So then the cards, there's tons of different cards in each of those decks that have all these different abilities. I think there's like 13 or 14 different types of cards in each deck. But there's multiple of a few. Um, and then you're going to be using you can use the cards for like um, building a city wall. You can use them for activating boats. If there's a certain die number rolled, I think it's like a 3 or a 3 and a 4, then you can use that to activate boats. You can start building a plot. So like if you look at those, go back right again. Um, those little brown cards right there to the right of the player board, those are like plots. So you can be setting plots down because you can't build a building until you have a plot underneath it. So
Oh, okay.
you have to discard a card face down, make a plot, and then you can build on top of that with a building. Which the buildings have so many different deals like this. The trickiest part of this is the icons because like there's a
Yeah.
lot of crazy icons on the bottom part of the card if you use them for the buildings and stuff. Um, and then yeah, you get new abilities. So if you have a bunch of buildings built, man, you're gonna have a lot of uh special abilities to keep track of for different things. But and then you're pretty much you gain points as you go through. And then whoever has the most, there's like in-game conditions as well, in-game like goals that you're trying to reach. Um and yeah, you do 5 rounds of that and that's it. I mean, I think that the grip to this for me was the decisions you have to make with the 5 uses of the cards because a lot of the cards are good in one way or another, and you're going to have to
Yeah.
choose which one you're going to put down as a plot, which one you're going to be doing. The one thing about this that is different from Bruges is, Bruges was hard to find, but then there was an expansion, 2 expansions for Bruges that was almost impossible to get. This Hamburg actually has those expansions in this now.
Okay.
So there's like a pets expansion and um, the cities of Zwin was the expansion that was out. So those are actually added into this that content
Got
um,
it.
and stuff. So yeah, I mean this one's pretty cool. You can get like the retail regular version of this, and it's fine. I like the deluxe one I got because it has like all the cool wooden stuff and the recessed
Is
boards and all that.
is this the first game in the City Collection or the only game in the City Collection that you've played?
So far,
'Cause there's another one.
yes,
It's
because
Maracaibo.
they've redone all of his older games. Like they're working on
Right.
redoing all of his older games and into the city collection. Um,
There's
and
another one I played that was relatively.
there's
Oh,
Marrakesh.
yeah, okay,
There's
it's with 2 R's. I'm like, Marrakesh
yeah,
is a game. Yeah, I've played this one.
and that one's yeah, but that was a reimplementation of I don't know what game that reimplemented.
It doesn't
Um,
say it is.
so maybe that was just a straight new one then. I thought they were
Yeah,
all
this
remakes
one
of
was
um.
all over. If it's the same one I played, Yes. Yeah. I did play this one because there was a lot of different like mini games, different areas of the
Right.
board that you were manipulating. Um, but yeah, but I know that City Collection was like weirdly expensive.
It's super expensive.
So it's
Yes.
like no, thank you. Like I'm not paying, hundreds of dollars for what is essentially a standard Euro game.
Yeah. So, but this one, that's why this is really the only one I went for because everybody loved Bruges, and when I finally got to play it, I saw why, and
Yeah,
that's why this is the only one I've really ever went after, was just because to get Bruised in the expansions, it was gonna I mean, the aftermarket's gonna be like $400, and this was cost me $100 to get the deluxe version of Hamburg,
right, which
and
is
I
insane for a Euro game because I'm looking at Hamburg and I'm like, that looks like a $50 game.
well,
Like
some of the pictures aren't the deluxe version, but I mean, but
there's not a single Euro deluxe version, in my opinion, that should ever cost $100.
well,
Um,
Yido cost probably $100, didn't it?
I don't remember actually, but uh, if it did, then I stand corrected.
But there's not
I
many,
s- yeah, there's not many Euro games that
right?
are deserving of that price. All right,
Yep.
my number 52 was 27 last year and 11 the year before, so it fell 25 spots. Um, and this one was mainly this one also fell high. I mean, I guess whenever we say a game fell, there's no other reason why it would have fallen besides either lack of play or just new games bumped it up. Like we're not going to sit here and be like, a game fell because I don't really like it anymore. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly. Yeah.
it's like, why is it in your top 100 then? But it is a game that I think you and I played the dual version and then tried the solo mode. No, we didn't try the dual. Did we try the dual version? I don't remember.
I
I know
don't
we
know
tried
what
the
game.
solo mode together, but it's a game that you ended up selling your entire copy because you'll never play it, and that is Black Rose Wars.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I did the Rebirth Kickstarter project and
yeah.
stuff, but I was just like, there's just not going to be a chance for me to play it.
No, the solo mode, the Automa, is best utilized if you have three players and you want to have a fourth, not as like an alternative to play as
Right.
like a two-player game or something. Um, this is done by Ludus Magnus Studio. This is a very weird company. They almost seem like a company that's teetering on being like a Mythic Games,
Yeah, I
where it's
know.
like I feel like you're gonna fuck us over. But they deliver their stuff, but they're it's like this Black Rose Wars line has been so confusing because they had the original, because this is Rebirth, which is technically the same game, but it's like a streamlined, cleaner version. But it is
Ar-
different
Yeah.
in the sense that in the original, the game does not come with this map, which would be really cool to
I was gonna say,
have.
aren't you doing the opposite in Rebirth that you were
Yeah,
doing in the yeah.
yeah. In the original Black, so the theme is you're dueling mages in a lodge with Aleister Crowley, um, and there's only gonna be a few people who understand what I'm talking about, but the lodge is essentially like alive and is going to determine the next leader of whatever the I can't remember the original title, but the headmaster. But as you're fighting each other, a lot of spells will place like corruption on the room tiles and will destroy them. So they all have unique abilities that you want to eventually activate, but as over the course of the game, by doing all this destructive type of magic, it's gonna end up flipping the tiles and they're no longer used. Rebirth, the biggest change is that you are all the abilities of the rooms are essentially switched off and you are kind of healing the lodge. It's kind of like a spiritual sequel where it's like, hey, after the destruction of the lodge, now you're fixing it by still fighting each other. It's weird. Um, but then they have like Duel, and then they have another game found thing that I've backed, which is more stuff. So it's like the barrier to entry for this game is now at this point kind of high. Anyway,
Yeah.
all that to be said, if you like dueling wizards as a theme, then this is one of the best ones. Especially, it's not really area control, but um, it's point based. It's not like player elimination. Kind of has that adrenaline feel where when you die, you're sent back to like your spawn point, which is your room. So you're sent back to your room. You're in trouble. But whoever dealt the most damage to you, gets points for it, and then the person who killed you gets like the trophy for it, but you become less worth it on being killed. But what's really, really cool about this game, there are tons of different schools of magic. The only reason to play Black Rose Wars Duel is to get the extra school. Like I don't think this is a good two-player game. Because if I can find a good picture, um, like I mentioned, there are tons of schools of magic, which is awesome. Like from divination to destruction to Chronos to Bardic to transfiguration, like all these different schools of magic that have their own deck of spell cards. That's not it. I was hoping to find some pictures of the cards. Okay, this will kind of work. But what's neat is each of these decks, like schools of magic, the spells have two sides. And what you're doing is whenever you're selecting your actions, you actually program them in a way on your board where you have a quick spell that you can cast whenever, but then you have to slot three more spells. So tons of unique spells, tons of strategy and forward planning of like laying trap cards that will trigger if someone enters a specific room, playing a card to affect someone to then set up for your next turn, for your next spell card. It's just chaos. It's more organized chaos than Cosmic Encounter or Wiz War. Like the closest game I can compare to this is Wiz War, but that is player elimination and way more wacky than this one is.
Yeah.
This, if you're wanting a more serious strategic game, this is it because you're going for victory points. This easily is Ludus Magnus Studios' best game, which is why they keep supporting it, which I'm excited for. I just wish they did it in a less stupid way.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, like they have tons of different expansions for this. There's like some boss one where like there's like a mat. What is it? It is might be there's a Slender Man promo. I didn't know that. Uh, but then yeah, then it gets weird with their other games because then it's like like they have ones where it's like it's compatible with Nova Atis.
Yeah, they do weird stuff like that, it seems like. It's weird.
So Nova Atis is like their Renaissance game. I don't know shit about it.
It's like everybody backs Black Rose Wars and they're like, we're gonna throw this, and it's like, hey, this game's over here.
You guys
Yeah,
want
it's
to buy
like
our other stuff? It works with
yes.
Black Rose Wars. It's like, no, we're good. We're good with the Black Rose Wars stuff. But then they added each of the mages. The mages have like a affiliated school because you don't have to stick with one school. You can. You could just be like, I want to be pure a destruction mage. By all means, go and do that. Um, but then they changed it to where now each mage has like a unique ability as well as their own special school spell card.
Hmm.
So they do a lot of things right with this game. It's just if you can keep track of just Black Rose War stuff, because I think I've had people ask me what they need to get for this. So like I'm seeing Nova Atis for this. I'm like, nope, that's not the same game. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah,
So,
it's not a very good game.
oh, you have played it.
No, I just know that people don't have a high opinion of it.
Gotcha.
So,
Um, yeah, so really awesome Euro-y style PvP mage dueling game.
yep.
Like it a lot. At this point, I don't even know what I'm getting with the new stuff. Like, I hope it's everything that I need for it, but
Sure.
yeah, that's my 52.
Sweet. And my final one for this segment was 49 last year. So it just fell two. And it's been on my list as long as the game's been out, I think, because I only went back to 2019 on this and it was number 8 back then, but so it may have been earlier. Actually, it came out in 2016, so it's probably been on my list since that then, probably when we started in 2017.
Yeah.
Um, and that is Mansions of Madness Second Edition. Even though we shouldn't
Nice.
have to say Second Edition anymore, but
I don't think anyone does.
yeah. But
Now,
but
whenever
anyway,
they make
no,
Manchester Madness third edition,
I will be mad because I just printed a damn 3D insert to get all this stuff into one box. Like
and that's
everything fits in one box.
exactly, yeah, that's exactly why they will do it.
And fuck them. Anyway, um, this game, I mean, everybody knows about this game, I would think at this point, unless you're new to the hobby. But this is your Lovecraft app-driven game. Uh, so it's this was kind of the first FFG app-driven one, I want to say. Uh, and
Yeah,
I think it was. I think this because XCOM came out a little around this time, but that wasn't Fantasy Flight because XCOM was kind of the
XCOM,
first app
XCOM
one.
was definitely Fantasy Flight.
XCOM was?
Oh yeah,
Oh, well, never mind. Then this one's their
this
oh,
came out a
actually
year
this was
before.
a year before. So this was kind of their test one. So XCOM was their first, and then they got a lot better with it, I think, with the Mansions of Madness, and then they improved on it again, even though the game's not as good with the Lord of the Rings one. Like the app
Yeah,
was still pretty solid in that, even though the game's kind of they did fix the Lord of the Rings game a little bit that makes it a little better. But
yeah, I
anyway,
heard their
neither here nor there.
expansions made it better. But the
Well, and
reason
they
why
took away
Mansions,
the oh, go ahead, sorry.
oh, I was gonna say this one's scenario driven.
Right. The Lord of the Rings, they got rid of that. There's a new way to play the game where you don't have the timer. So
Oh,
it's not,
okay.
yeah, so that's that. I haven't tried it yet, but there's a new official way that you don't have to have the timer as an issue and you can actually
Damn,
play and the game and stuff.
these
But
people
anyway,
went all out. Look at
they
this.
did. They did. That's foam core and stuff, isn't it? So they
Yeah,
really
that's
went for
fucking cool.
it. We'll just 3D print some walls.
I wouldn't
But
even do that,
no, I know.
man. Like,
But but anyway, this one it has a ton of scenarios out at this point. Um from regular decent one. That's the setup. That's
I was
that's
like,
what
is
I
this your
do.
picture?
No, no, no. But that's what I do if I have the opportunity when I go to because I like to put it up, screen project off of my iPad onto the screen so everybody can see it, and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but plus it has that little bit of background music that's kind of a little bit ambiance and stuff if you aren't adding your own music. But some of the scenarios are, a little short, not shorter. They're still long, but then there's some go really long, like 3.5 hours, like that one when you're out in the streets and stuff. But they've done a lot of cool stuff with the expansions for this, whether it's been, um, going all over different places and everything. I finally got the final expansion I was missing, and you have the wooden crate for this that doesn't
I
fit
did.
everything,
I don't know the
don't you?
game anymore.
Oh, you got rid of it?
Oh yeah.
I couldn't remember if you did or not.
Yep.
But but
And the wooden crate didn't fit the last expansion.
yeah, I know that yeah. That my everything fits in my box right now pretty nicely, but
Yeah.
this was one they even came out with some scenarios just on the app that you could buy
Mm.
and stuff too. But if you're looking for a scenario based game like this is a good one. I still think I like Cthulhu Death May Dies scenarios and stuff like that better for the Lovecraft stuff. It's a little more action packed. This one has more
Yeah,
puzzles and stuff,
I
but
do feel like Cthulhu Death May Die has kind of replaced this one
yeah,
because they're very similar. Um, not quite as exploration driven like this one is. But it's also not app driven, which again, I'm a huge if we were to do like board gaming hot takes, app driven games when they're done right are better than regular ones. Like I
yeah,
love app games.
yep,
Um, but I mean, Fantasy Flight does really, really good app driven games versus like Lucky Duck at this point, where
yeah,
it's like just develop an app game. Except for Descent: Legends of the Dark. Like that one.
Yeah.
That one was something else.
Well, the minis for this game are very subpar.
They're
Um,
very bad. Yeah.
yeah. The
Like,
stands are just
yeah,
bad.
like I, because Fantasy Flight, well, I guess all they do now, and they still do Arkham Horror, else they still have that IP, which I guess it's not even theirs, it's open source. I would be very shocked if they never made a third edition.
I
Like,
know.
third edition of this one, or I thought that whenever they were doing that
The
really
teasers.
secret,
Yeah.
not, hey, we're remaking Arkham Horror, re-releasing the core box, but it's anyway, that was fucking dumb. But I thought they were either announcing Mansions of Madness third edition or Eldritch Horror second edition.
Yeah.
So, not saying that they can't do one, if not both of those, but if you had to choose, which one would you rather what have? Mansions of Madness third or Eldritch second?
I mean, I would say Eldritch second because I don't own any Eldritch and I own everything for this already, so I wouldn't have to want to rebuy it all.
That's fair.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
that would be my selfish
Yeah. And I'm
view.
in the opposite because I have everything for Eldritch, but I don't have Mansions
Right.
anymore. Not because I think it's a bad game by any means. I just found like yeah, I think the realization of Cthulhu Death May Die just kind of doing everything that this game does but better. Um yeah, but it's still really good. Like if anyone were to ask me to play, I'd happily join in.
Oh yeah.
So, and actually, yeah, you own everything for it and Devin owns everything for it.
Yeah.
So,
So you don't need to.
I definitely don't.
All
Nice. Good
right.
choice.
Yep.
All right. And my last one for this segment, which I just realized I didn't even technically include the first version of this game. Um, this is the only one I was ranking, and that is Role Player Adventures.
There you go.
Was this on your list
I don't.
yet?
Let me
I
look
can't
real
remember
quick.
if you.
I'll tell
Uh,
you. Go ahead and start
I
talking.
effectively lumped this and the original game together. They're not the same. You can definitely, if you're put have both on your list. But Role Player Adventures, I have done the expansion for it, the Golpax's Secret, which is very cool. It's a very solid kind of like standalone adventure series. Very upset with how Thunderworks is actually handling their IP
Yeah.
with this Silver Threads of Fate, where it's like, hey, we're going on crowdfunding for a chapter. It's like, really? Like, is because it was confirmed by the designers that they're working on more stuff, but it's like, is the more stuff supposed to be periodic chapter releases? Because that doesn't really do it for me. I backed it though. But
156 is what this was.
oh wow, okay. So
I just haven't
uh,
played a whole lot of it, so that's why.
yeah, I have a full series of this on my channel. I have a review over the Goldpax's Secret expansion. This is like one of the best DM list D&D kind of board games you can get out there, I think. It's very segmented. Every chapter you're doing is just a storybook that's isolated, but your
Mm.
decisions and stuff, your keywords and all that do carry over. Um, the most people's complaints about this game is that it is very easy. You quickly become very overpowered with your deck and your item cards that the really unique dice system where to complete checks or to compete to do fighting where you have different colored dice and you effectively get to a point where there's no way you're not going to be able to manipulate the dice in any way to auto win pretty much,
Right.
but you still have to go through the rigmarole of actually changing all that dice. But so it is still thinky, even though you are essentially going to win. It's like, yeah, I think a lot of people, I don't know. I'm in this for the adventure and the exploration and decision making versus the actual dice mechanic because I think if the dice system was harder, it would rely on RNG too much, which I would then be annoyed with. So so yeah, like but the game crux is that each adventure has its own map that you basically go from location to location and go into the storybook and read out what's happening. It's not light storytelling, it's a lot of reading. I wish this game would had fucking audio narration
Yeah,
because it is a lot of reading,
it is.
but it's cool. Like whenever you kind of boil it down though, it is kind of interesting that it's like, okay, we're gonna start in A, then we can go from A to B, or we can go A to D, and it feels like you naturally want to go from A to B to C to D. But in all honesty, there's a lot of stuff that you can do because whenever you go to a location and you have an item they might have, you can like actually um try and use those items there, and that might open up something that you never would have thought of. There's a lot in these adventure books that are untouched and different outcomes based off what you decide to do that will give you titles that will change the way. What's really cool is by the end of an adventure, it gives you like an epilogue depending on what your titles were. So it's done extremely well. I just wish they just did more with this, man.
Yeah.
Um, I know a lot of people, and especially myself, were like talking about, oh, hey, play role player so you can craft your own character, then put them into role player adventures. While that is really cool, and it does give your characters that you make in role player like more to kind of do, and you can really kind of D&D-esque play these games. Honestly, for the expansion, the Gold Pack's a secret. My girlfriend and I just did a pre-con. It's really just do that,
Yeah.
honestly. It's so much. And the Go Back to Secret was good. And like this is what I want them to do is more of this or role players adventures too. Um, they added occupations. So now you have like a job or something so whenever you're going to various spots, it'll ask if you have this profession and that opens up more. And so that was really cool. That was a nice extra layer to this expansion. So we'll see what they do in the future. I fucking hope it's not, we need money, so let's put out a chapter that actually was going to be in a big box.
I know. That's the worry.
So yeah. I mean, it's just so like this might be good, but it's so fucking weird. Single chapter storybook. Like players
Yeah.
will unless it's a massive storybook, but like
For the cost, there's no way it can be. It wasn't very
I
expensive at all.
know. Yeah, it's like you'll create new characters and then just play one chapter.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know.
weird. I don't know. Um,
At this point, I mean, I still like this, of course. I mean, I just need to play it more. But at this point, I think I like role player with the expansions better and role player adventures again.
yeah, I mean, I can't really compare them. They're not even close to the same game.
No, I know, but I mean, like if I'm going to play in that universe, I think I would stick with just role player because of it's you play it, you get different, you can do different things with building your character, and then that's kind of it, you know.
Right.
You don't.
Um, yeah, I mean, the universe is not something that I'm like gun ho about. It's fantasy.
Right,
Like they do. I mean, again, it's what are you wanting? Do you want a dice worker play? Not worker placement. Do you want a dice drafting game where you're creating a D&D character, or do you want a narrative-driven campaign game?
right,
Like, I don't know. Yeah, it technically shares the same name of role player, but they're not even close to related, except that you can import a made character of role player into this.
right.
So, anyway, still a great game. Thunderworks, I just hope supports it better.
Yeah.
And that's it. That is the last one for this segment. We are done with the bottom 50. Now we start talking about some good games. Hopefully, Brad starts talking about some fun games that aren't Euros.
Euros.
Yeah, they're all the same. Like my narrative-driven campaign games, they're all the
Yeah.
same.
Now I was
Uh,
looking at my top 10, like my top 10 or 20 is a good mix. So
it's a good
we'll see.
mix. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are. I still have some, yeah, like up until I got some very excited ones to talk about in the future. But that's it, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Stick around for the rest of the top 100. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.